feels like you guys get used to having the Murray Jokic actions down the stretch. Just what happened with some of the turnovers down on the floor?
Yeah, I think in the only 13 for the game, but I think 6 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, just unfortunate. And I was just telling Russ, I got him out. I thought Russ was great tonight, and he'd run a long stretch. I got Jalen back in the game. Then I had that inner conversation, hey, I got to get Russ back out there. And then Jalen did a few things, but really costly turnovers at a key stretch of the game. And we've become so accustomed to seeing us execute and make big shots and get the right shot. And obviously we just didn't have that tonight. Quarters 2 and 3, we guarded nobody. You give up 37 and 37. That's problematic. And obviously we go 8 of 31 from 3. They make 15. The three-point line was a big part of tonight as well. But I'll start with me. We've lost 4 games in a row, and I'm never going to this guy, that guy. How about me as a head coach? Not doing my job to the best of my ability, and that's what I challenge over our guys. We haven't lost 4 in a row in a long time, and it's really easy, to be together and say family when you win. But when you're losing games, can you stay together? And do you have the balls? Do you have the courage to go home and look in the mirror and say, what can I be doing better to help this team? And Sacramento, Memphis, Houston, no one's going to feel sorry for us. And so we put ourselves in this hole, and we only have ourselves to pull ourselves out of it. And I look forward to seeing how we respond.
Michael, you guys hold Halliburton to 9 points on 8 shots, but you still give up 125. I guess where did the defense come up short for you?
3-point line. Yeah, Obi Toppin, he had a hell of a game. Naismith hits 3, Obi hits 4, Turner hits 4, Walker off the bench hits 3. So I would say that's 2 games against Tyrese Halliburton. Not only do we hold him down, but game 1 he had 11 field goal attempts. Tonight he had 8 field goal attempts. But he had 15 assists in game 1 and 13 tonight. We had some defensive breakdowns in our rotations. That proved to be costly in a lot of those. And you just can't have those. We just had some costly mistakes at inopportune times that were just too much to overcome.
Seems like so many of those are corner threes in particular, both in transition and pick and roll actions. Is it one of those cases where even if you address that, if the technique isn't better, you're just going to give up something else?
I would hope not. I would hope through doing it correctly and doing it with multiple effort, you can be there. We did it in game 1 in Indiana, which helped us win the game. We took away the 3-point shot. Obviously, we did a poor job tonight. And give them credit. They're 8-2 going into tonight's game. They're playing well, high-powered offensive team. But you can't defend for 2 quarters. It can't be just quarter 1, quarter 4. And again, to give up that many points in quarters 2 and 3 just hurt us.
You mentioned before the game you're trying to plug a lot of holes. In your mind, what's the biggest thing you need more of right now?
I would say, and I've been saying this for a while, going into tonight's game, I don't think we started the same lineup 2 games in a row in the last 15 games. So health. Obviously Jamal Murray is such an important part to this team. And we still have enough to win when Jamal's out, but I also like our chances a hell of a lot better when Jamal's healthy. So aside from health, Katie, obviously the defense, I've talked about it a ton. That's been the most disappointing part of this year is just the huge drop-off. You're talking, we didn't go from 8 to 12. We didn't go from 8 to 15. We've gone from 8 to, I don't even know what it is right now, maybe like mid-20s. And that's a severe drop-off, and you just can't rely upon your offense to outscore teams. Think about it. Tonight, 33 assists, only 13 turnovers. Scored 120 points, had 76 in the paint, had 15 on the break, and we lose because of our defense wasn't able to give us the stops when we needed them to. Like T.J. McConnell came in the game. It was Bob Cousy reincarnated, just dribbling wherever he wanted, made big play after big play. And we have to be able to guard guys, sit down and guard guys. So, we got a couple days before our next game. We fly to SAC. They're fighting for something. Memphis is fighting for something. And who knows what Houston will be fighting for last game of the season. But we just we have to get this bad taste out of our mouth because I hate losing, and I know it's driving me crazy.
You described this team as what you thought is one of the most resilient teams in the league not too long ago. What is it going to take to get that bad taste out of your mouth with these 3 games kind of being the equivalent of playoff games essentially to avoid the play?
Yeah, I mean, and every game for a while now has been like a playoff game, to your point, because of just how close the Western Conference is. And obviously, we were in second place, then third place, and now you've lost 4 games in a row. And going into tonight's game, you had, I think, 3 or 4 teams behind us, a game behind us. So what it's going to take is, hey, everybody look in the mirror, challenge yourself to be the best selfless teammate that you can be, and just play with a tremendous amount of desperation and urgency for 48 minutes, or as close to it as you can. And if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to snap out of this funk that we're in. Go ahead, Kiss.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kiss.
Do you think there's a hangover effect from that loss in Minnesota? Have you guys been able to hit the reset button since then?
Good question. Obviously the next night, it was a devastating loss. Obviously, you play that hard, you play that well. Nikola puts on a historical performance, and just to have it not go your way at the very end of that double overtime game. And then you rest a bunch of your guys the next night. Guys fought, tough loss against San Antonio. And then I felt like that first quarter in Golden State might have been one of our best quarters of the year. We put up 44 points against a defense that was ranked number 1 since the trade deadline. And then I felt in that fourth quarter we faded. So I don't know if I would say there's been a hangover. We were up tonight. We got up by as many as 13. Weren't able to hold on. We were up in Golden State. Weren't able to hold on. So I don't know if it's a hangover necessarily, but whatever it is, we got to find a way to get this out of our system. And I think our guys are ready to do that.